Cage Minds, Mike Frankel here at LFA 62. Valerie Soto takes on Vanessa Demopoulos. Vanessa joins us right now. How you doing, Vanessa?
Doing amazing. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Since the last time I talked to you, seems like you've been very busy.
Yeah, life doesn't seem to slow down ever over here.
Right, I believe you fought, and then I saw you, it looked like, back home, then to Florida. Now you're training in LA. Give us a little rundown of everything you've been doing since the last fight.
So, 2 weeks following the last fight, I had a Fight to Win Pro, back to back, no breaks. So I went right from a 3-round professional MMA fight to training, the very next day. As soon as I got off the plane, started kicking ass, and then went out there and laid it all on the line for Fight to Win. In another city as well. That was in Colorado, and then I went to Florida for a while and back to Ohio. I started doing social media marketing. And then I came out here to LA where I'm currently at for training. And within that time, my father passed away. So then I went back to Ohio, and kind of just mourned that situation for the month and gave that its time and its respect. And then, we got things to do. I got the fight offer, and I had just started back in the gym again, really kicking ass and, gearing things back together. And I made the decision just to move out here to LA to finish up this fight camp for MMA.
So is this a full permanent move now that you're an LA native?
That's right. Yes.
How much?
Yep, I'm in LA. Official.
So how long had this been a thought in your mind to make this move?
Well, LA has actually been a goal of mine for a long time. I mean, it's beautiful out here, and I love the sunshine. I love the beach. I lived in Florida for a little while, and I loved it in Florida. So, I've always wanted to come out here to LA. And it just seemed like the perfect time in my life, even before my dad had passed, we were talking about it and stuff, and my family was like, so you're going to move there, right? And I was like, no, I'm just going there for, just going out there to train for a few weeks. I'll be right back. And my family's like, yeah, right, you're moving. They knew it before I knew it because I had always talked about coming out here. So it just felt so seamless when the move happened.
And now what is LA life like?
Woo! Busy. Busy and exhausting, which is wonderful. I'm in the gym day and night, and, between training in the mornings over at Black House and then doing, full camp recovery. So I'm spending just about as much time training as I am recovering, and then training again in the afternoons and working out here as well. And it's been amazing. I got the schedule down right away. It didn't take me no more than half of the day to adjust because the life is out here as it would have been in Ohio. Training all day and then recovering all day as well and working at night. And I feel like when I came out here to LA, it was the exact same thing, just in a different environment with, a different mindset geared towards MMA, which is why I came here.
And going back to the fight, took on Itzvel Esquivel. It went the decision. What did you take away from that experience?
I took away that, being a professional fighter in 3 rounds is a huge deal. And I had always been such a strong grappler that, going into an MMA fight, the scoring is different. The scoring definitely matters a lot. So I've been making some adjustments mentally and preparing tirelessly to be able to dominate not only in action, but making sure that there are no stones left unturned.
So looking back on that fight, it has altered a kind of a perspective on how you look at how you want to attack when you're in the cage?
Absolutely, yes.
And how has
Yes,
that changed?
I mean it's one thing. It's one thing to be strong. It's another thing to be a strategist. And when you put the combination of both together, I mean, game over.
And what have been some big areas of focus for you now since this move to LA?
I'm sorry. What has been the focus since moving here to LA?
Yeah, in your training.
Oh, I mean, I came from a martial arts school where we were very jiu-jitsu strong and very Muay Thai strong. So, but putting the two together has always, just been a little bit not as seamless of a transition as it was out here in LA because they focus on MMA. So, and that's what I am. I'm a professional MMA fighter. As much as I love jiu-jitsu, like that's going to be my heart and soul, and I'm still going to continue to compete in jiu-jitsu. I mean, MMA is primary. So that's definitely been a huge shift.
Fight to Win, you said it didn't work out for you. So with that shift that you just mentioned, focusing more on MMA, taking less grappling opportunities?
Yes. If you chase a bunch of rabbits, you'll catch none. So MMA is where it's at. And I'm very laser focused, especially right now. Leading up to the fight, we're about 2 weeks out, and there's nothing that's going to skew my focus at all.
Right, last time I talked to you, you were talking about dancing, MMA, BJJ. Now you said you've added social media marketing. How full is your plate right now?
My plate is full enough that I'm hungry. I've been able to clear the plate, which has been amazing this camp, and that's something that's been very different versus the last one where I was still doing everything. I had a BJJ fight that was coming up right after my MMA fight. And so I feel like this fight, like I'm hardly working at all, which is great by me because I've set myself up to be able to focus full time on MMA. I set myself up to be able to make this transition out here and completely give all of who I am and all of my energy and effort towards this fight camp. There is like a certain amount of capacity that every single person has, and you have to pick and choose where that capacity chooses to put your energy towards. So fighting is like number one. Like that's it. Nothing else fucking matters for me at all, period, point blank. My social media, I've already even talked to my partner, and he's like, yeah, dude, like you got to do you. So that's like, life is incredible. Life is amazing. I'm very blessed to have these types of opportunities, but I designed shit just this way. This was not by chance. This was very strategized in making sure that all of the things that I do can very easily be shut down just to make this happen. It's just like cutting weight. You can keep eating and keep eating, but once it's time to cut that weight, you got to change that diet up. You got to do things a certain type of a way to make sure that you get the results that you're looking for. That's no different in my personal life.
Taking a step back from some of your interests, was this a hard conversation? Was this something after the fight that you decided there had to be changes? How did you get to the point where you knew you had to make these big of changes?
Priorities, and I've changed a lot of things in my life in the past growing up, where I had to overcome a lot of challenges and be responsible in making sure that things got taken care of because no one else was going to do it but me. So when it came to this type of a decision, it was hard because I loved the people around me, like wholeheartedly. My coaches and everybody back home in Ohio, like that's my heart. That's the gym that I came from. But I think when you really truly love people, that you want the best for them. And when I had that conversation with Ohio, they exemplified exactly that. They gave me nothing but love, nothing but encouragement, and wanting the pursuit of greatness. And so just to kind of have their blessing was so wonderful, from Ronin Training Center, because that was my heart. And they still are my heart. I still do love them, and unconditionally. And that's true unconditional love right there. Like, if you ever question if people really fucking care about you or not, try letting them know that you're going to need to take a step back or walk away, and then see what their reactions are from there. So I'm very blessed to have been a part of an amazing team that I was with Ronin Training Center, and had their blessings along the way.
Now, a couple other things. After your last fight, following you on social media, saw you were a big proponent of cryotherapy, that you were really into it and trying to put out the message of how much it does to help athletes out there.
Mm-hmm.
How did you find the cryotherapy, and how did you get so adamant about it?
I'm, like I said, I put just as much focus into my recovery of my body as I do into my training. So, if you're really training hard, you're breaking your shit down. And recovering is so important. Cryotherapy has been amazing. It really helps to reset your nervous system. And, when you bring all that blood into your core, and then you start warming up again and it releases back into your limbs, it's just wonderful. It really also helps to kind of reset you hormonally as well, because your body just goes through so many different things with cryotherapy. I also sponsored by a stem cell company, Stem Cell X, out of Tampa, Florida. And I really believe in stem cells as well, like them being able to just kind of go into any problematic areas that they need to recover. And anything from, like, tearing joints, as long as they're still attached, to just letting your body heal itself, and like little tears in your muscles. Like, stem cells are amazing, and I've been very, very blessed with the recovery sponsors that I've had, and it's been incredible. Like, even now being over at Black House, they have their own system over there of recovery and rejuvenation, which is amazing.
How did you find the stem cell treatment? How did you get onto that path? Who suggested that?
It was just like a mutual connection that I had with them from the past. And when they started a stem cell company, they reached out to me, and I was like, heck yes, of course. I would love to represent you guys.
And as far as, like, the benefits or the recovery, how have you felt it's helped the process, I guess?
Well, right now I'm working with Synergix Strength and Recovery, and Ron has just been doing an amazing job at helping me to recover right now for this camp. So it's a lot of just, like, monitoring my workouts, monitoring my resting, monitoring my recovery, monitoring my diet. You want to talk about breaking things down to, like, what the minerals in your body are. So they've been absolutely incredible.
A lot of adjustments, a lot of scientific adjustments, it sounds like, for who Vanessa's going to be as a martial artist in that cage. What are you expecting out of yourself in the cage come fight night, come the 22nd?
Vanessa Demopoulos 2.0, Lil Monster on a rampage. Like, I am the most competitive person I know versus myself. Nothing could have fucking driven me harder into the sand than taking that loss that I did in Texas the last time. And now I get to return to Texas again and fight for LFA and really just, like, be so honed in, so focused, so driven towards this one goal, this one night. Forget about it. Like, there is nothing that is going to stand in my way And that opponent across the cage for me is locked in there. So let's get this shit.
What do you think we'll see are some of the biggest difference out of you as a fighter? Where do you think you'll be more comfortable in there at?
I guess you'll just have to see. Make sure that you watch Access TV March 22nd.
Does it feel not like a happy familiar going back into Texas to take on the hometown girl again?
Yeah, I mean, any single one of my fights, if you go back and just take a look, I've always been the underdog, you know, and I've always walked in the people's home turf and been the upset. So this is no different than that. It's just that the last time I went to Texas, it didn't go in my favor. But you better believe adjustments have been made.
And going in to take on Valerie Soto, what have you learned about Valerie in preparation to take her on?
She's a tough cookie. I know that she's been fighting for a year, but she's been training for quite a while. So, not taking any respect away from the training that she's put in up until the point that she's decided to start fighting. Going pro pretty quickly, making sure that she is, she's prepared. She's a prepared fighter. So, walking up against a worthy opponent. I mean, I wouldn't be in the cage with her otherwise.
Fighting is just one part of you. I know also from following you along on social media, positivity is another major component to who you are. What is it that's driven you to try to inspire other people so much?
I love that you brought that up. Thank you so much. I'm glad that radiates through. And I really do have a genuine passion for loving life, and I think it's because I really understand wholeheartedly what it is to not enjoy life. I've been through so many different situations, everything from like drug addiction to just being alone and, having deep depressions, being abandoned, so many different things, abusive relationships. And it's like, once you overcome those types of things and situations in your life, like life just opens up for you, and you do kind of have a little bit more of a pep in your step. And I know that when I was in those fires, I didn't see the way out. I couldn't envision what life would be like without that overwhelming situation, whichever one I happened to have been going through at that time. And I really, really want other people to understand that it doesn't matter who you are, what you're going through, where you came from, that there is light at the end of the tunnel if you strive for it, that you can have peace and happiness and wellness. And you do deserve that. You deserve to be happy, and you deserve to put yourself first and create whatever it is that's like passionate in your heart. Because, I mean, I've been there. I've been there, and I never want that for any other human, ever.
Have you thought about the amount of bravery it takes? I mean, you already step in the cage, you go to combat, all this stuff, but you, again, walk around with those stories, your emotions on your sleeve, and you share them, and I think that almost takes a bigger amount of bravery.
Thank you very much. I mean, to be vulnerable is, that in itself has taken some conditioning and some soul searching. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, the positivity that I get to bring to the world is much greater than my fear of others' rejection. So, if you can't handle the fact that I'm happy as shit and I just want to bring that to other people and everyone around me, then maybe you're not somebody who I really care what your opinion is, So, I just love people, and I want the best for everyone all the time. And yeah, it is hard to be vulnerable sometimes. It is. And, but I think that the response that I get from those when I am vulnerable, I think even just yesterday I shared how I was, homeless and addicted to drugs as a teenager. And I had so many people reach out to me and just thank me for sharing that, because so many people do feel alone. And so to be vulnerable, it's more than just me. It's not just like, hey, look at what I've been through. It's like, you can do this too.
And
Yeah.
in a world where one of your professions is stepping in a cage and punching other people, do you find it's sometimes hard in this business to always be the to be that positive, cheery person?
You know, it's funny because no, I don't. Like, if you ever see me in the gym, I am the fucking happiest person. Like, until the gloves come on, and it's like, ooh, like change, you know, which is, it's just who I am. I don't know. Like, my zones change so quickly, and I love that because we do what we do out of love, you know, like you don't become a professional fighter because it was something that your mom and dad told you would be a great career growing up, even though my dad actually did tell me that. But, you know, you become a fighter out of passion. And I think sometimes people get too fucking serious and they forget that they love this shit, you know? And so, no, it's not hard for me to be so positive because I'm doing what I love every day. It's awesome.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Sounds
Hell
like
yeah.
there's been a lot going on for you. Really, it seems like a lot of changes and a lot leading up to this fight at LFA 62. So, does there feel like a big emphasis on an importance for March 22nd?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's like a wedding day, you know, like there's so much preparation that goes into it. And I think that's another thing that I ended up getting lost with in my last fight, you know, where it was like all this preparation on top of not giving any compromise to the other areas of my life, where this fight, I'm just like, nope, fuck the world. Like, I got a fight happening, and everything else is just going to have to revolve around that, you know, see you later. I'll catch you guys after March 22nd. We'll talk. But right now, it's just about the fight. So, yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. It's a lot more than what people see and think, you know? They only see what happens inside that cage. They don't see all the little details that go along the way, even when it comes to, like, having to drive all the way home and cook your food every single day. Like, just little stuff that people don't put into consideration that it takes to be a professional cage fighter.
And have you felt, is it a difference now also being on your own a little more in LA where it's a different environment where you kind of had, as you said, your people a little more of a foundation of a support system that you had in place for quite a while there in Ohio?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's actually even better for me. Like, I love my friends, but hanging out with them and, you know, sitting down and talking and stuff, it would get distracting for me, you know, because I love people so much that I would like, it's better for me to be here and just focus. And I'm actually, like, Black House is fucking amazing, you know, like, everyone there is really badass. You know, you make friends fast in the fighting world. I mean, we're a community, and there's a lot of respect for each and every person. So making the transition out here was so amazing and seamless, and, you know, the coaches have taken me on as family, and I feel like family out here. So, and I'm still in touch with all of my friends back in Ohio, too. It's just support from a distance. But I was so acclimated to traveling all the time that I'm good about having my relationships over the phone as it is. That's how it's always been for me.
And you're returning to the cage, and as she says, she loves to talk to people. We have stolen a lot of her time this evening. I'm sure by now Vanessa has to go run off to eat or get back to practice.
You know me so well. How did you know?
It is that fight life. Vanessa, before we let you go, can you shout out to sponsors, the people you need to thank, and let all the listeners know how they can follow you on social media?
Yes, you can follow me on Instagram, Lil Monster Demo. Love you guys so much on there. And huge shout out to Synergistic Strength and Recovery, Want versus Me, keeping my jiu-jitsu gear super fresh, and Stem Cell X, keeping my body intact. Also, huge shout out to Ronin Training Center and Black House MMA here in LA for taking me and his family.
LFA 62, it's on Access TV March 22nd, or be there live at the Bomb Factory in Dallas, Texas.